Oh, it's coming to me. It's in my head. You're in front of your computer. You're like looking up how to change your vehicle, customize it. That's right, everybody. I'm not a mind reader. The reality is, unless you are a soccer mom, then there will be a point where you customize your vehicle, potentially spending thousands. And so here's the crazy thing, it doesn't help performance, it doesn't go faster, it doesn't handle better, and it can be harder to sell because a potential buyer may not like what you've done to your vehicle. Well, okay, so this begs the question, is it going to be worth it? Hey, I'm Paul, owner of Bikeskins.com, and we've customized and sold thousands of wraps over the last 20 years. Hey, if you're considering customizing, whether that be purchasing add-ons, lowering or lifting, a new paint job, or a new wrap, then you already know there's value in having something unique. Now, it may be hard for you to define what that value is because justifying the cost versus being practical is always a balancing act. Okay, so now with my 2 decades of experience of owning a custom vehicle graphics company, I'm going to give you the top 7 reasons people decide to customize their vehicle. You're more likely going to fit into one of these categories, if not more. All right, so hey, I grew up in the 80s, and I have to admit, I had several pairs of underoos of all the different Justice League heroes. Superman, Batman, Robin, Aquaman. I had all the Star Wars figures, Transformer figures, He-Man figures, G.I. Joe, went to all the movies, watched all the cartoons. This brings us to the number 1 reason people buy a custom design is the hero concept. So it's human nature to want to align yourself with heroes because they have meaning, they have power, and they're recognized across the board by your peers. So this is very common for people to get a custom design based off of a hero from either a movie or comic book. Also, sports fans and teams fall in this category. Their favorite players are their heroes. Also, military, firemen, police, those type of services, those also fall into the category of heroes. All right, and so the number 2 reason that people get customizations is memorials. And usually it's because someone very close to them, a friend or family member, has passed away and they want to pay tribute to that person and also help remember that person. And in some cases, I've had customers where it's their dad who passed away, and their dad was also a police officer, so not only is it a memorial tribute, but it's also honoring heroes as well. So the lines kind of get blurry and they can cross over, and you'll see that be a trend among these 7 reasons. All right, and so the 3rd reason is business advertising. And in the past, I've had many companies approach me in order to do a theme wrap for their vehicle or motorcycle based on their company or company logo. And so, of course, we've put plenty of these together, and they're fun to do. It's a great way to get the name out of the business, and then also it's a business write-off. All right, and so the 4th one is kind of unique. It's kind of a catch-all idea, so to speak. It's where you want to just get attention. You're wanting people to admire the design. It's not really a theme that is trying to be anything. It's not trying to match certain company colors or anything like that. It's just a cool design. So we've done several designs where it's based on just fractured concrete or flowers or geometric shapes. All these kind of fall into this catch-all pattern where they just want it to look good and also people be able to recognize it as not being factory, so it just kind of gets more attention. All right, so I've alluded to the fact that there's no practicality for reasons for people to get a custom design, but I'm going to roll back on that one a little bit and talk about number 5, and that is because people have mismatched body colors, they have blemishes, they have road rash, and what they're trying to do is they're wanting to bring it back to where it doesn't look janky. So they're not necessarily caring too much about the design. Of course, they'll pick one of our preset designs, or they'll just want some colors in there just to break it up. But one of the main reasons is because they're trying to cover up something that makes it just look like it's hodgepodge or damaged. All right, and so if you've been riding for a while, you go to Bike Week, you hear about this. Number 6 is theft deterrent. And so the cool thing about customization is that if you're changing something from factory to being unique, it's going to be identifiable from a long ways away. And that, of course, is a theft deterrent, because the bad guys don't want to have an item that's easily recognizable. They want that anonymity whenever they are trying to bring it back to a body shop or their home, and they're trying to relist it to get some cash out of it, or they're trying to part it out and sell it on eBay. They don't want to have to deal with a bike that has bodywork that is easily recognizable and being unique. All right, so the last one, number 7, is very similar to number 5, but instead of covering up blemishes, what you're doing is being proactive against future blemishes. So there's lots of road rash that can come off of front tires of motorcycles. There's scratches that can occur whenever your bike is knocked over or you lay it down, or someone with a buckle on a jacket or a boot brushes against it. It can cause damage to your factory paint. And if you've paid a lot for a brand new bike, sometimes you want to use that as an excuse to cover it up. And so this isn't normally like a number one reason to get a custom wrap, but it does play a factor in people deciding and justifying why they do want to get a custom wrap. Okay, that's it. So you've made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you sticking around. So these points could be useful to someone trying to decide if they're wanting to purchase a vinyl wrap and get some custom work done to a vehicle, not necessarily just with wraps, but also painting, things like that. It's also useful to people that have other custom shops, so paint shops, vinyl shops, things like that. You could use all these points as talking points to kind of help along with the sale of your service or product. Now do me a favor and click the like button below and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. Also, feel free to leave a comment below if you're considering a wrap, or you're an installer or shop owner and want to list your business name and location in the comments. Feel free to do so as well. We're constantly looking for install affiliates. Thank you.